Foldable phones are almost always enormous, at least when they're unfolded, but next year's most anticipated versions could be much bigger than we're used to. Indeed, the Z Fold 7 are also likely to sport larger displays than their predecessors. It's worth mentioning that according to a late 2023 leak, Samsung may have to deal with a higher-priced chipset in 2025, which may potentially lead to a spike in costs of its flagship phones, including the impending Z Fold 7. For now, we can still legitimately speculate that its price will remain the same as the Z Fold 6, but we'll let you know whether this forecast could have any merit, as soon as new information on the topic comes up. Above are our estimated, speculated camera specs of the Z Fold 7, based on the Z Fold 6's features. There's a fair probability that the main camera will go up considerably in megapixels, considering by what we saw with the limited region Z Fold 6 Special Edition. As usual, we should expect a triple camera arrangement on the rear, with a wide main camera, ultra-wide one, and a telephoto for optical zoom. On the cover screen of the phone we'll receive a kit-out selfie camera, possibly 10 megapixels, and behind the folding screen, an extra, hidden 4 megapixels selfie camera. That one is possibly the most interesting one, technologically, yet generally the worst in performance. It's buried behind an area of the folding screen where the pixels are less dense and can collect photos through those, creating the impression that there's no visible camera on the folding screen at all, which is a good thing inconspicuous. Based on Samsung's track record with the Z Fold series, we can expect the Z Fold 7 to start with 256 gigs of storage, with 512 gigs and 1 terabyte options also available for a premium price. Of course, no prospect of external storage, that is no SD card slot, as is the case for new flagships, unfortunately, so whatever capacity you acquire the phone with, you'll be stuck with that. Recently, prominent expert Ross Young predicted that the Z Fold 7 will gain bigger screens, as it will be a carbon duplicate of the limited region Z Fold 6 Special Edition. With that in mind, we should expect the Z Fold 7 to be bigger, wider, and more equivalent to other foldables on the market, as opposed to the still narrow Z Fold 6 and 5, when closed. In addition, we may expect a somewhat slimmer and lighter build, 236 grams, down from the 239 grams of the Z Fold 6. The enlargement of the cover screen is particularly fascinating, as it's a feature many Z Fold users have been demanding for a while now. It means that, finally, the Z Fold 7 customers won't have to compromise with a narrow screen when the phone is closed, but will enjoy a rather conventional smartphone experience from the cover screen. In turn, the folding screen will offer an even greater, wider tablet experience, but we'll discuss about screen specs as we go further. The Z Fold 7 is believed to be an identical replica of the South Korea and China-only Z Fold 6 SE. With that in mind, we may expect its cover screen to get broader and larger at 65 inches, up from 63 on the Z Fold 6. The major appeal, the folding screen, will also get larger at 8 inches, from 76 on the Z Fold 6. Both screens on the Z Fold 7 will feature dynamic LTPO AMOLED 2X with 120 Hz refresh rate and 2600 nits of peak brightness, implying top specs and outstanding visibility outside. Again, based on what we see on the Z Fold 6 SE, we may expect the folding screen to have a 1968 by 2184 resolution with 367 ppi. The folding screen, due to its unique features, will be covered with flexible glass, while the cover screen will be protected by the more typical Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2, as that one doesn't need to fold. Judging by my personal experience with modern Galaxy Z Fold phones, the folding screen is now quite resistant to little scratches and fingernails, which wasn't always the case and is good news. As for the crease in the middle of it, where the folding magic happens, we expect it to be significantly less obvious, especially in low ambient light, albeit definitely still there and easy to feel for. No substantial technological advances are to be predicted, so far. Yet again, based on the special edition Z Fold Samsung offered in South Korea and China, we can expect the Z Fold 7 to have a 4400 mAh battery, split along the folding hinge. That's exactly the same size as the current Z Fold 6's battery, but the good news is we know it's more than ample, as our Z Fold 6 review testing demonstrated. We noticed up to 12 hours and 42 minutes of online browsing on a single charge, which was extremely outstanding. The somewhat larger screens on the impending Z Fold 7 may have an effect on those numbers, but it'll likely be minuscule. As for wireless charging, the Z Fold 7 will likely support 25-watt speeds. No change for the wireless charging 2, 15-watt speeds, and 4.5-watt speeds for reverse wireless charging. Overall, the battery issue on the Z Fold 7 is almost certain to be the same as it was on its predecessor. While several Chinese rival foldables already shifted to super fast charging and a new battery technology, which allows for a thinner phone, we don't expect any of that on the Z Fold 7. However, it's worth mentioning that Samsung is reported to be working on new battery technology of its own, notably a folding battery, but whether or not that makes it into the Z Fold 7, or is set for a later foldable, is up for debate. Like Samsung's other planned foldable, the Z Flip 7, the Z Fold 7 is believed to come with Samsung's future One UI 7 interface, running on top of Android 15. Solid news for people who want to use their cell phones for longer than the norm is the fact that we can expect frequent software and security upgrades for a solid 7 years. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 should be beautiful and safe to use at least till 2031. One UI 7 is currently rolling out in beta on some Samsung phones, so we know what it will provide. Unsurprisingly, AI features. Samsung intends to embed AI elements into its flagship phones, which would help users, especially those of the Z Fold 7, make the best out of their smartphone. Writing assist tools, AI-powered content summaries, phone transcripts, and spelling and grammar checks are just some of the new things to expect. One UI 7 is likewise overhauled and comes with even larger customization options. A new Now bar, which looks strikingly similar to Apple's Magic Island, will allow immediate access to live information, such as countdown timers, music, recordings, and more. Like the Galaxy Folds before it, the Z Fold 7 will also come with Flex Mode, which activates when the bottom section of foldable phone is laid flat on a surface, with its top part standing vertically, analogous to a mini laptop. On top of the phone functioning as its own camera, video watching and video call kickstand this way, Flex Mode optimizes apps to split between the two parts of the screen for optimal ease. For example, YouTube would play a video on the top half, while Flex Mode will show playback controls on the bottom half. A personal favorite of me is Samsung DeX, which its Z Fold series, including the upcoming Z Fold 7, come with. It's simply a desktop mode that activates when the phone is connected to an external monitor, delivering a taskbar, windowed apps. In my opinion, the most straightforward and comfortable Android desktop experience. We may also expect the Z Fold 7 to have stylus compatibility. An S Pen stylus specifically for Samsung's foldables is offered separately though, and writing tools accommodating it, should you require them. Next, Samsung has had a difficult go in the production sector lately, but a fresh report out of Korea says their 3-nanometer fabrication process is now on the uptick. As a result, the Galaxy Z Flip 7, slated to ship mid-year following the second Galaxy Unpacked event, should utilize the Exynos 2500. The senior source cited said the S-series would still receive a Snapdragon system on a chip, because it still requires time to create and optimize the fastest Exynos ever. The Exynos 2500 announcement doesn't come as a major surprise, given we predicted weeks ago the Z Flip 7 would employ Samsung's chipset. Right around that time, however, Samsung was in the thick of a frightening war against wasteful chip production. An unstable 3nm process jeopardized the supply of Exynos chips, and only very recently did the engineers manage to shore up manufacturing to a promising level. The official shared favorable information on the company's many arms continuing to work together and keep fabrication, development, and testing flowing as smoothly as feasible. That's wonderful news for the Android leader, which faced so many setbacks in recent months. It began mulling a switch to TSMC manufacturing, instead of its in-house facilities. Many power users, which covers quite a few Android police readers, instantly refer to the Exynos line's reputation for less than ideal performance, efficiency, and thermal management. While that could remain the case to some extent, Qualcomm's late-gen Cortex X925 CPU core claims a 1/3 clock per instruction boost, which could up the Exynos 2500's performance dramatically, even if its peak clock speed falls short of the Snapdragon 8 Elite's. Efficiency and thermals should improve too, mainly because to the reduced transistor size of the 3nm node. Of course, we won't see the Galaxy Z Flip 7 or Z Fold 7 for months. They'll likely appear in the middle of the year, maybe seeing higher display sizes. The Flip should profit considerably from that, while competitors like the 2024 Motorola Razr Plus flaunt notably larger outside screens. They'll be accompanied by a more affordable clamshell foldable, possibly the Z Flip FE with an Exynos 2400E, to meet up with the low-cost handsets that have saturated the market. Only time will tell how well the Exynos 2500 performs, but if Samsung continues to focus on efficiency and development, it could approach Snapdragon quality. At the absolute least, avoiding a Qualcomm chip would help Samsung keep Z Flip 7 costs down, which is beneficial for everybody. So, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.